This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Happy Monday. Happy Girls State Tournament week. We get things rolling on Wednesday morning, bright and early at 9 a.m. Okay, so Nick Sainert, Rico with you as always, but now we're also going to be joined by Mark because just moments before we said the first words on the show, we hear a slap on the window. We look back and then Mark slapped the window with an empty bag of Miss Vicky's sea salt and vinegar chips.
Yep.
And Mark is pissed.
And he said, "Who did it?
Who did it?
I don't know what is the question for?
Where were they?
In my office.
Are you saying that the bag?
The empty bag left in my office.
Okay, so are you mad?
Sitting there.
Are you mad that people ate them, or are you mad that people
they're for
threw them
eating.
away?
They're chips. They're for eating.
Okay,
Normally,
Why are you leaving trash around my office?
Normally, it would be me.
normally it would be Rico,
But I don't eat
I
sea salt and
jumped to
vinegar.
conclusions.
I do not eat sea salt and vinegar.
I also have an alibi because I'm not hungry. That's why I have a piece and a half of pizza.
All right, yeah, you're good. You're good. Yep, okay.
I would also.
That tracks.
That's a terrible alibi.
That checks out.
My man was so excited
My
for the
tummy's
pizza.
not rumbling.
And he goes, "Look,
therefore,
I'm not hungry, which is why I'm currently eating."
that'll hold up in court.
Scott says VJ
Or simple.
Simple.
No, simple. This is simple.
Oh yeah. So
thinking back, it was definitely for Sean. It
what's
was
new?
definitely for Sean.
Thinks birthday boy thinks he can do anything he wants.
Birthday boy.
It's funny since we're talking about that. There was a pile of clumped up paper towels on the ground that I just had to pick up, and I think that's Rico will
Who did it?
Will back me up on this.
Who did it?
I blame Terrell on that one.
Rico will back me up on this. It's pretty much every day we gotta do.
I blame Terrell on that one.
Guys, we're moving into a
nice new fancy studio. Don't say you guys.
You two are here
Hey.
in the room.
I do that sometimes. It's okay. I will
That's
take
true.
I-
That's
I
true.
will-
Your Pop-Tarts are still back there.
Yeah, but they're on my coffee. I picked them up.
What about by the sink?
That's me. I just finished it before I came in for
who's got those organic shortbread?
Oh, that's
flatbreads?
strict.
That's strict.
That's
To
strict.
go with
Okay.
his Mercado summer
My
sausage.
lunch bag
nice.
is up there because
Uh-huh,
I warmed up my food I was eating and then I came
That's
in
true.
here
You
for
got your
water. I
ramen
did
noodle
it.
bowl out there.
Yeah.
saw
I'm gonna
that.
wash it. I wash my
okay,
stuff.
but gonna wash it. It means it's just sitting out now.
Yeah.
That's true.
You want to go wash it
that
right
can't
now?
happen.
Should I have moved
That-
it somewhere and then gone to wash it, or should
Yeah,
I?
put it in your chair locker?
We should get a
Right?
dishwasher.
Well, if I had a chair locker, then we wouldn't have this issue.
Easy.
Careful.
We should get one of the automatic dishwashers.
Just like a regular dishwasher.
Yes, a regular dishwasher.
What is this? The Jetsons? Come on.
Or you could just,
Don't say you. Don't say you because why didn't you?
because I had to come in for a show.
It takes
And again,
takes 2 minutes
hold
to
on.
wash a bowl.
And again, I always clean my stuff up and take it off the sink
Off the
before I leave.
off the sink. Yeah,
Yeah, but now it's gonna sit there
it's
for
just
hours.
It's just gunking up
for
2
hours.
This
hours.
is this is
That
why
hours.
this is why we can't have an
Plural.
air fryer.
This is why we can't have an
This
air
is why?
fryer. This is why. I don't trust that it's gonna be cleaned.
I told you
Yeah.
I'd clean it.
When?
After I-
when. Right? When are you gonna get around to it?
Before I
Rico?
leave.
Okay, well,
I'll clean it after
sorry,
I use it.
Sorry that somebody left some garbage on your.
Who did it?
I tell you, Skinny Mark's different.
He's got some sass to him.
Skinny Mark's different. We were worried. He's concerned about how much beer he's gonna have consume at the Minnesota baseball tournament this weekend.
Yeah. Everybody that's on the text line understands Mark's a beer guy. Mark likes his
is
beer.
a beer guy.
Mark likes his breweries. So he's gonna be gone for this week after Wednesday.
Yeah,
'Cause
because he gets there Thursday.
He'll get there Thursday. So my question for the text line also is how much beer, how much alcohol is going to be consumed by Fit Mark in Minnesota.
By Skinny Mark. Because not Skinny Mark. I don't want to say fat because that's not true.
Warmer during the winter, Mark.
Warmer. So non-skinny.
Previous Mark who liked wintertime.
That's true. He hates winter now.
He doesn't like it anymore.
Don says they make air fryer filters to help with keeping them cleaner, easier to clean. Now, Don, here's the crazy thing about that. Do you still have to wash the filters?
They're like rubber.
Yes.
So you just take it out and you just rinse it off. It's supposed to be like non-stick, whatever.
Those never work. After like 5 uses, those aren't going to work.
We'll see.
My guy says Baking Mark was my favorite. Trust us. He was ours too because we always got cookies.
That was warmer during the winter, Mark.
That was warmer during the winter, Mark.
I'm going to start referring to that as previous Mark.
Scott says 6-pack a day for Mark.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen because now that he has less body fat and like
he gets drunk.
He might be a lightweight.
I feel like he is. I don't know.
He might only need like 2 beers.
When is the last time that Mark drank?
Especially at a brewery.
Ooh.
Where there's a little higher ABV.
Big brewery guy.
Yep, because that's where that was the conversation we had. How many breweries does Mark attend during his time?
That was our first question, but I think we set that at 4.5, and I think he was sitting at 4, possibly 5. So I said a good number there.
Yeah.
But now the harder question is, how many alcoholic beverages does Mark partake in? Because his brother and his dad are also going to be there.
That's so tough.
So it'll be interesting. I'm going to set the over-under at, he's there, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He'll be back Monday. So he's there 4 days, 4.5. I'm going to set it at 14.5.
Geez, that feels like a lot.
It does feel like a lot.
Now you have to also remember that.
But he's also going to baseball.
Bingo. That's what I was going to say. U.S. Bank Stadium is going to sell.
Mm-hmm. How much does he drink during the games?
He said he's not going to be paying that close of attention to the calories. 14.5 divided by, what would that be? Divided by 4 days is like 3.5 a day.
I feel like that's low.
That's low. That might be low.
But I think 14.5 is the number.
Should we just make it an easy 16.5?
Sure. Why not?
That's 4 a day. That might be pushing the limit a little bit.
Nah, I think that's a good number. That's a good number because I'll have one at a brewery.
Because like you can have one during like the first inning and then one at like the sixth inning.
You think he babysits it?
I don't know. That's interesting.
I feel like once he gets going with his dad and his brother,
that's true. He admitted that once he gets rolling, he's like, "Give me all the beers."
Yep,
that's how I feel. I've never met somebody that doesn't.
I'm gonna tweet this out later. You know what? I'm upping it. 18.5.
No,
we're just gonna keep going. 16.5.
16.5.
Okay, so we'll set it at Radio Rico AC. I will put the over under out there.
Wait. So now we have this in there. We have this. Mark chimes on the text line. 3 games a day for 3 days.
Ooh.
So 2 per game would be 6 per day.
At 3 per game. He's not babysitting.
Not by the third game.
He's not babysitting 2.
Not by the 3rd game. Why? Because he'll be drunk.
Okay. So
I think 2 per game is
6, 12, 18. That's already 18, just baseball.
Yeesh. So plus the breweries.
That's why I said 18.5. He'll have like 1 or 2 at a brewery, however many breweries he goes to. We set it at 4. We're going up now.
Yikes. Are we thinking like 27.5? That's like 7 beers a day.
He's going to drink at the baseball games. You forgot how cheap I am. 1 per game max.
What if there's a voucher?
That's why it's 2 per game. Because he'll get 1 and then he'll be like, oh, you know what? That was pretty good. Let me get another.
Okay. So Trevolution brings in a good point. Says, is a beer considered 16 ounces because sizing will vary considerably based off where he is?
A beer is just a beer. If you order a beer, doesn't matter if it's 16 ounces more or less. If you order a beer,
12, okay.
Yeah. Unless it's like the sample things, then all of those count as 1.
Well, you could sample like 8 beer, eight.
But like the little tiny little guys.
Okay, so we need to establish this. So if he says only 1 beer per game is his max, that's 9. Coming from Mark. That's 9. 18.5.
We're back to where we were.
Okay, cool. Waterboy, I'm with you. Bottled beer better than cans.
All right. During the break, I'll tweet it. Actually, no, I'll work on it right now.
Just go and work on it right now.
Yeah.
As always, we didn't get to do our normal open because Mark came rushing in with his Miss Vicky's empty bag of chips that Vershawn left in his office.
Just a tragedy.
402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys. We are currently watching some daytime baseball, a riveting matchup between Utah and Texas A&M Corpus Christi here in the studio. Not that it necessarily matters, but with that, Husker baseball, this kind of can tie into our Minnesota conversation real quickly. Husker baseball gets back on the winning ways. They sweep South Alabama down in Mobile. The bullpen looked much better over this weekend. And so they kind of bounced back from that 0-3-1 weekend. Now they are 3-3-1. And we are just a week from tomorrow will be the home opener against Northern Colorado at Haymarket Park. So we're approaching it quickly to where Nebraska baseball will be playing at home against Northern Colorado in one of those trademarked, midweek games against a midweek opponent. Nebraska always has these midweek opponents of Northern Colorado, Kansas State, those types of teams where it's like, all right, these are trademark. We are always used to playing these guys in the cold. Citadel came, or let's see, like Loyola Marymount is always a program as well that Nebraska features on their schedule in late March or so when it's still chilly out. But this week, a big reason why Mark is going to Minnesota is to watch Husker baseball. And on Friday, they will play Vanderbilt, who is a top 10 team in the country. Mm-hmm. Saturday, they have Hawaii. And then Sunday, they have defending national champion Ole Miss. So 2 top 10 teams on Nebraska's docket this weekend, which once again, I mean, the Big Ten is struggling in terms of in baseball right now. Maryland was thought to be the Big Ten's best program. They're struggling out of the gate just a little bit. I know Northwestern is 0-6. There's another team that I believe is 0-7 this year.
Maryland have like 5 Grand Slams?
Yeah, well, because they have a transfer from Bryant that all he does is mash.
Crazy.
So Nebraska has an opportunity though ahead of them because they're, like I said, they're back to 500, 3-3-1 after a disappointing opening weekend out at San Diego. And here they are stacking up against some of the best talent in the entire country, right? SEC baseball. If you paid attention during that Arkansas series regional a couple years back, I mean, the thought and the reaction from it was Will Bolt saying, this is where we expect to be. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but down the road while my staff is here, this is what we expect to be hosting a regional every single year. And they fell short of that goal, obviously, last season, but it is what it is. Chase B says Northwestern being 0-6 isn't their only problems. And you're right, Chase B, couple things. The Denver Broncos and Sean Payton hired away Northwestern's running back coach. So there's that. Northwestern's director of player ops, pitching coach, and I want to say hitting coach all left the program, the baseball program. Mm-hmm. All that's left is their head coach and a volunteer assistant.
About to get paid.
0-6. And they left the program 6 games in. And they finished, I think, 4 games we saw below 500 last season.
Yeah. What as a player, what is your reaction to that? And I mean, you're going to keep competing, you're going to keep playing, but like you have 2 coaches now.
Yeah.
And one was a volunteer assistant. Like I understand, but
I mean, let's put that into perspective here. That's like Danny Marcuso.
Yeah.
Who is the first base coach, like a very valuable piece of this program.
But now there's only 2 people. Now there's
there.
only 2 of them. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Northwest are they going to make, in-season hires and bring them on to I don't know if right the ship is the right wordage, but just kind of get back into not as treacherous waters. Yeah. Like it's very confusing, and I feel really bad for the players on Northwestern's roster. I feel bad for the head coach as well, because I'm sure
I don't know.
It's one of those things where those 3 coaches come up to you and they're like, "Yeah, man, this isn't working. We're gonna head our separate ways." And it's just, as a head coach, what do you do?
Once again, 402-464-5685. We're going to be joined by Steve Marik here in a moment. We got this text on the text line. Who is the beer drinking champ at the ticket? So we have to go through some of the...
It was Mark.
It was Mark.
I don't know if it still is Mark.
It's not Bach.
It's not Bach.
We can rule out people here first.
Mhm.
It's not Bach. Jake would be pretty close. Jake would be surprising.
For
if
however many ounce beers.
Yeah, he feels fine.
He wasn't fine.
But I also know what he can do if he puts his mind to it.
DP doesn't drink beer.
DP doesn't drink beer. I'll go through. Okay, so the drive, Raph can handle beer much better with vodka Red Bull. If you get here's a secret.
It's alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a secret. If you want a fun night with Raph, start buying him vodka Red Bulls, and that guy will sing like a canary about anything you want to talk about. AD will be a gin and tonic kind of guy.
So not beers.
So not beer. I'll drink a beer every now and then. I usually will. Yeah, I'm not usually a beer.
I could down some beers. I don't know how many.
Okay, so Austin? I don't know. We don't know Austin well enough.
We need to get Austin out.
That's true. I think I got to go with Jake.
I think even though he's cold during the winter now.
No.
I think I'm still going with Mark.
He's going to get full.
He has the experience.
He's going to get full.
You seen Mark chug a beer? It's an experience.
Yeah, Terrell's out. Vershawn probably out. Vershawn puts his mind to things, and normally when that happens.
Is Vershawn a beer drinker though?
No way. Does Vershawn drink?
That is also a good question.
He can say he's like, oh yeah, I'll be just fine. I can do it. But then here we are.
But can you?
Man, I'm full, guys. I'm full, man.
What about Jay?
Jay's definitely more of a mixed drink guy.
Okay.
I see
a fruity drink guy?
No. I see
Do
him.
you think we put a little umbrella in Jay's drink?
He'd probably enjoy it. Get some sunglasses on.
I think he would. Look,
I see him in the group of myself, where give me a Crown and Diet or a rum and Coke, whatever it may be. I'm good with that. Yeah.
I think you're already drunk.
Yeah, Mark, are you already drunk?
I'm not gonna get full. I am gonna get drunge.
What about Bill Bush?
Oh,
I don't know. Here. I don't know if he. I don't know. That's tough.
Do we need to figure this out? Do we all need to attend a baseball game, not as media?
Are we doing a Bush? Are we doing a case race? Are we doing a case race?
I think we might have to.
I couldn't do a case race. I will. Man, that's painful.
I think we should do this.
We usually so here I'll tell you guys about a game.
DP and Vershawn can commentate.
Maybe it won't. It probably won't be like a surprise to anybody. We play this game. I don't know if have you ever heard of the game Mario Kart?
Yes.
Okay. Where you have to finish a beer before you finish a Mario Kart race?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you play it? Because I've heard the way my friends and I play it. I've talked to a couple people and they say it's different. So what we do, you can't move when you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's the same.
You
Good.
take
nice.
a lot of people.
We could party.
A lot of people would down them all right at the start and then go. Some people do a lap. Well, do one, do a lap, take another, do a lap, take another,
really?
Do a lap.
Okay. I don't
know. Just depends
I
on how confident you feel.
I got to find the strategy. I've struggled a couple times with it. Not with the driving, trying to figure out the timing. A couple of my buddies are really good at it. Anyway, Ryan says still waiting on VJ's 400 from last year. We all are. All right. Wet Blanket says you haven't even mentioned 5-wing sip. Sip's probably not. I've never seen Sip drink. March Madness is coming up, but I gave up alcohol for the next 40 days.
That's awkward.
I don't even know if I've told you guys this.
That's awkward.
I gave up alcohol until Easter. We got Easter to get to reach. We just got to make it through March. 2 of those weeks are state tournament. I'll be at PBA all day. I can't go out those weekends.
Ryan says, why don't you all go to the Lincoln Stars this Friday night for college night? Cheap drinks and a great atmosphere.
Yeah, maybe.
My sister's coming into town.
Yeah, that's right. With some, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Are you sad about it?
No, it's going to be interesting.
Somebody says, can you guys do a pothole challenge? I just about ripped off my front left tire. That's right.
If we were to drink for every pothole in Lincoln, we'd be drunk before we even left the station.
Is that a parking lot?
Yeah. Because
of our parking lot?
Yes.
Hey, they fixed it. It's okay.
They did. There's
okay.
a massive one back there.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Steve Marik. Plenty to talk about. Dylan Raiola visited this weekend. He has a lot of offers. And John Bull kind of the name that went under the radar. He actually plays basketball, and he's a high 4-star recruit that visited Lincoln. We'll talk about all that and more coming up with new dad on the planet, Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska, coming up next.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Cert and at Radio GoC. Happy Hour is next and theticketfm.com.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled transitions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
When you clubs were cool, robotics club, space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night mission. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. As we roll into the year, we continue to get plenty of new 2023 inventory and have a great selection of used vehicles. And if we don't have what you want, we can put a new vehicle order in for you. We also have 2.9% financing right now on select Chevy and GMC new model. So stop on in and make that short drive to Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5690. or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
This is a house of learned doctors.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico joining you today, as usual. Just a little bit of a programming note this evening. At 6 o'clock, we'll have the Speed and Power Show with Megan Walker, and she has a special guest tonight with the Husker Wrestler. Then from 7 o'clock, we will have the A5 Boys District Final game between Lincoln East and Lincoln Southwest. And then at 9 p.m., we'll have the Husker Bowling Show as well, with a couple of those student athletes on here to wrap up the night. So make sure you keep that dial turned right here at 93.7 The Ticket the entire night. Let's go ahead and head over to the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685, where we're joined by our good friend Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. Steve, what's up, man? Did you know that Dylan Raiola has 31 offers?
Oh, it's up to 31, huh? I didn't know that it was going to be that high for that guy. So, yeah, 31, interesting number.
Did you know that San Diego State and West Virginia and Washington State are also included, but not Ohio State?
Interesting. Tough luck for the Buckeyes. I guess I should have handled that a little bit differently. But I do want to give a shout out to the Hawaii Warriors. A lot of people probably don't know that I'm a big Hawaii Warrior fan. I'm a huge Colt Brennan guy.
Really?
When I saw that fantastic H on that graphic, I just felt good inside. So good job for Timmy Chang and the Rainbow Warriors for getting on Dylan Raiola's 31 school offer list.
Do you like the alphabetical order in terms of the school name and not the logo?
I honestly didn't pay too much attention to that, so I'm just going to have to go with the next question.
All
well,
right.
Miami was, with the M's, but it's a U, and it was throwing me off.
I can understand why that would throw some people off. So, yeah, I guess they should have done that a little bit better.
All right, Steve. Hey, how's being a dad, by the way?
Being a father is awesome. I highly recommend it if you are ready for it. It's honestly, guys, it's very, very cool. I wake up every morning wanting to hold my little daughter, Shay. So, I mean,
awesome.
It's fantastic right now. I didn't think that I was going to feel like this when I was a single guy, just worrying about work and sports and what I was going to watch on TV every night. But now that I have her in my life, it's fantastic. And I wake up every morning wanting to hold her, play with her, do all that fun stuff. So it's awesome.
I'm warning you right now in a good way. Once she's able to recognize you and will express her joy for seeing you, it's over and you lose.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. Thank you so much, Rico. I'm going to be waiting for that moment anytime now. She's only 3 weeks old, so I'm getting kind of like the clueless look from her every single time I look at her. But those are pretty cool too.
Oh, they're fantastic! Congratulations again, man.
Thank you,
Steve. Did Zach? Okay, so we also talk to Zach every Friday. Did he force you to come back sooner rather than later? Because I know.
Zach has been absolutely incredible about this whole thing. We waited, so we took Shay home for the first time on a Wednesday, and that's when my week off clock started. So
Gotcha.
I was as much as I wanted to. I wanted to kind of chip in and help with some coverage, but I did not work at all really for a week from one Wednesday to a next Wednesday. So. He's been excellent about the whole thing and kind of telling me that I don't need to attend these men's basketball games if I don't want to. So he's been good about the whole thing.
Well, shoot, man. I mean, Nebraska is now 15-14 overall. We can translate or transfer over to a Husker basketball discussion. They're 15-14 overall. Did we see this coming at all?
No, I mean I didn't. You lose Juwan Gary, you lose Emmanuel Bandemel, and you go, what was it? They're like 1, 2, 3, 4. They're like, they won one game and it was that Ohio State game and then lost against Illinois, Purdue, Northwestern, Maryland, Illinois. And it was just looking very, very bad. I mean, it was like, you start wondering about Fred Hoiberg's job security at that point. But then they beat Penn State. They beat Wisconsin in overtime. they go to Rutgers, they beat the Scarlet Knights in Jersey Mike's or whatever the heck that place's name is named. And then they come back and defend their home court against a really tough Maryland Terrapin team. And then they beat a really bad Minnesota team, but it's still a good win for them. Anytime that Nebraska can really sell out a place and then just defend their home court and get a win. I mean, I did not see this stretch coming. They are playing some really good basketball for them. They're doing the little things, I think, and a bunch of different guys are stepping up at different times. And I think that's kind of the coolest thing is there's not one person doing it all. It is truly a team effort. And honestly, I think the administration at Nebraska is kind of seeing the job that Fred Hoiberg has done with this team. And I think it's safe to say that Fred Hoiberg is going to be back this season. That's just my feel about the whole thing. But I think the administration and the fans and everybody is kind of seeing the excellent job that Fred Hoiberg has done with this team of getting them to buy in and do little things and not have one star around this whole thing. So it's been pretty cool to watch unfold, honestly.
We're joined by Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. And Steve, you said something there that kind of made me ponder. I mean, when we talk about the little things and just this run that Nebraska's been on, and now the fan engagement, and part of that is with Keisei Tominaga, but like people are juiced up to go to the arena. Like I'm pumped up to go and see the arena tomorrow. Like I know there are very few tickets that are still available for senior night. But like when we think about this stuff, I felt like a game like on Saturday was like a validation. Like, okay, this team is actually a good basketball team from a fundamental standpoint. Like they're not getting lucky and they're just catching a heater shot wise. Like they are doing the fundamental things well. They're limiting turnovers. They've shot a little bit better from the free throw line, compared to what they were doing earlier this season. And they're just figuring out a way to get it done.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Nick. I mean, you have these veteran senior leader guys, Sam Griesel, Derek Walker, and Emmanuel Bandamel. He's not out there right now, but he's in a recent press conference, Sam Griesel told the cool story about how after the Northwestern loss earlier this season, Emmanuel Bandamel got up on his crutches and he wasn't out there playing, but he was still giving a really emotional and moving speech that Sam honestly thinks kind of helped turn things around for the season. So it's just the little things, and little things. When I say little things, I mean like, diving on the floor for loose balls, focusing on rebounding, not turning the ball over, playing just good, clean, sound basketball. But that also goes along with like off the court too, with like, being an older guy and being a leader and saying and speaking up when the time is right. And it just seems that those things are happening right now. And so it's really cool to see. And again, like you said, Nick, it was kind of like a big game environment, even though the Minnesota Golden Gophers are not a good basketball team. And we saw that on Saturday. But there was still a big game environment for men's basketball in Lincoln, and that hasn't happened for a while here, and it's pretty cool that it's happening now. So this team is on a really good run right now. I'm really interested to see how far they're going to take it. Michigan State, Tom Izzo, you can't ask for anything more than that tomorrow night. This is going to be a pretty good game, I think, and a really cool opponent. I mean, everybody knows Tom Izzo, just kind of a legendary name, legendary coach in the sport of college basketball. So that's a big time game here in Nebraska. So it's going to be really interesting. And I don't know. I like the Huskers' chances. The place is going to be packed. TBA is going to be packed. Michigan State's going to be really upset coming into the game after losing how they did to Iowa on Saturday. So they're going to be wanting a win. So it's just going to be a big game and another excellent opportunity for this Husker team to keep making a name for itself and getting more confident as the Big Ten tournament approaches.
We're speaking with Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. And Steve, we've had the kind of cool collected hands of Derek Walker and Sam Griesel to guide this Nebraska basketball team throughout the season. You've had the emergence of Keisei Tominaga. You've had the recent emergence of a guy like Jamarcus Lawrence, and all of that is going well and good. You have Sam Hoiberg's recent run of things as well, and all of that is well and good in helping this Nebraska team to get these wins. But how important, especially for this Michigan State game, will it be to get a guy like Blaise Keita, who, although he isn't scoring a lot, is offering size on the defensive side and a much needed rebounding advantage for Nebraska? How important is it to get him back from that ankle sprain that he suffered, that he re-aggravated 2 games ago?
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely huge because this is a game that you want as many bigs available as you can against this Michigan State team, who always seems to be kind of like a tough nose. They'll bring some bigger bodies in, and they'll look to crash the glass and win dirty ways. And I think having Derek Walker play the entire game and not be in foul trouble is going to be very important. Having a guy like Blaze Keita is going to be absolutely important. I wasn't at the press conference today, so hopefully there was some advancements with Blaze, and hopefully he was feeling better. So we last I saw him on Saturday, he had a boot on that foot, so it's going to be really important just to have him closer to 100%. Whatever he's going to be at, if he does play, he's not going to be at 100%. But I still like him out there just for that 6'11" body. You need that down there, and there might be some Oleg minutes. Oleg Konets. He might be called upon to just be a big body and try to get in there and roughhouse with some of those Spartans. So, this is just going to be a big game. And Blaze Keita, like you said, Rico, I don't think he's going to give you much offensively, but what he brings defensively on the boards, his ability to take charges, it's just incredible how he's come up in clutch situations when his team absolutely needs just a takeaway, and he comes in there and slides underneath and gets a charge. He did it against Wisconsin in the overtime period. He did it against Maryland, I believe. So, having him out there, having that defensive presence out there is huge, absolutely huge. But it's also going to be huge to have Derek Walker play all 40 minutes out there and try to stay out of foul trouble too. So having those two guys out there, big.
Steve, couple more before we let you go. Nebraska will honor a couple of guys tomorrow night on senior night, and one of those is Keisei Tominaga, who technically is a junior, has been in school, though, I believe, for 4 years, has quite the decision to make in the upcoming offseason. And Fred Hoiberg talked about how there's been no discussions between him and Keisei about his future. But I guess what do you think Keisei is going to do at the end of the day? NIL, there is a way that he can profit through name, image, and likeness, even though he's an international student. I believe he can do something with like branded apparel. And you can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But can 1890 announce that they're going to be working with Fred Hoiberg's team and Husker men's basketball going forward? How much does that all play a part in this?
I don't know the rules with the NIL and his ability to as a kind of foreign student, foreign exchange student to make money off of that. But it was really cool after the game on Saturday, the Minnesota game. There was some Japanese media members there, and they were wanting to ask Fred Hoiberg some questions, and they brought up kind of the next level, the next part about Keisei, and Fred did an excellent job with answering their questions, because one of them was, what does Keisei have to do to reach the next level? And honestly, he's a 40% 3-point shooter right now, and we can see what he can do, what kind of a threat he can be when he gets hot, and how defenses react to that, how much they overplay him, and how he's gotten so much better, just so much better at those backdoor cuts, and the chemistry we've seen with Derek Walker and his ability as a point forward at the top of the key to find Keisei on those back cuts. It's been awesome to watch. But with the next level with Keisei Tominaga, I don't think the 3-point shooting is really something to worry about, because I think he's going to be a 3-point specialist wherever he goes, whether that's professional overseas next year, or if he decides to stay in college. But what he needs to work on for the next level, and I know the NBA is his kind of ultimate goal, is the defense. Is he always going to be a defensive liability? And that's something that he's going to work on. I think he's made strides in that area this year, but I think he's always just going to have to, just his size, he's 6'2", probably 6'1". He's always going to have to answer those kind of questions, always going to have to maybe try a little bit extra harder, and his team might have to try to hide him defensively for his whole career. But it's just one of those things you have to weigh. You have to weigh. His 3-point shooting is spectacular, but then you always have to just worry about the defensive end with him. But yeah, I don't know. That's just going to have to be a decision that he makes. Does he want to go play professionally? Does he want to come back here and try to work on his game and try to maybe make a run at the NBA in a couple seasons? I don't know. That's just going to be with him. Me personally, I think he would benefit playing another season of Division I basketball if his ultimate goal is to play in the NBA. I know a lot of people play overseas and get their chances in the NBA a couple of seasons down the road after a couple of seasons overseas. So who knows? But he's created a name for himself here. He's got an entire fan base behind him. I think it would do him well to come back and play for the Huskers one more year.
Steve, last one before we let you go. Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska join us. What's this team's ceiling? Because I personally, in my eyes, it's completely changed over the last 3 weeks. This is looking like a team that might be able to steal one and steal a couple in the Big Ten tournament, depending on the draw. I mean, they've played themselves now into a tie to getting a first round bye in the Big Ten tournament, and NIT looks more and more possible. The more and more Nebraska wins. I mean, what is the ceiling for this Husker basketball team this season?
I'd have to agree with you, Nick, that it's a team that I could see winning a game or two, kind of two at most, in the Big Ten tournament. That's what I think. And I think they're a team that would absolutely be a good NIT team, because I think they would just be, hypothetically down the road, they would get into the NIT, and I think the semifinals and finals are in Las Vegas this season, if I remember correctly. That would be a really good draw, Nebraska, because the fans would obviously travel to watch this team for sure. So I don't know. I just think that I'm with you, Nick. Two games, I could definitely see this team kind of stealing 2 games of the Big Ten tournament. Is it going to win the tournament? No, absolutely not. I don't think so. But they could win 1 or 2 games in there, sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I'm pumped up for tomorrow night. Will I be seeing you there tomorrow night, or are you on dad duty?
That's to be determined. 8 p.m. is usually when we try to put her to sleep. So
Nice.
And that's tip off time. So I'm usually needed at that sleeping hour to try to put her down, but it's to be determined. I'll let you know.
Sounds good. All right, Steve, appreciate the time as always. Have a good rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Rico.
That is Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. Good stuff from him as always. The Keisei Tominaga decision is really fascinating, because now if you want to play connect the dots here before we get to break, just leave you guys with something to ponder. Think about how this last weekend kind of unfolded. You have Keisei Tominaga's parents in town. You have 1890 announced that they're going to partner and do deals with Husker men's basketball while they're still in town.
Interesting.
You have the Australian parents from Husker women's basketball still in town. We know that 1890 is now partnered with them.
One of the parents.
Yeah, grandparents of Jazz Shelley. But if you want to connect the dots, there's a process to all this. There's a method to all this madness.
There's always something. You just got to look beyond the curtain.
Thank you, Rico. So I think that NIL conversation with Keisei Tominaga, I'm going to dig a little deeper. I saw Robin Washut of On3.com wrote a little bit of an article, so I'll dive into that a little bit. And let's talk about Keisei Tominaga and what it would mean. Either way, both sides of the coin, whether he leaves, whether he comes back. Let's talk about that coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. To touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store or cash on spot. Play It Again Sports.
It's Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful. tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee, you slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Think you need a new furnace due to a cracked heat exchanger? Call Bryant for a free second opinion. Might save you thousands, no matter what brand. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the most pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call 1-254-5690 or go to Novotny Nutrition and Wellness 7 and Superior.
Heating, air, and delivering opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build a professional team. They offer competitive and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring. So join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big brand.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. As we roll into the year, we continue to get plenty of new 2023 inventory and have a great selection of used vehicles. And if we don't have what you want, we can put a new vehicle order in for you. We also have 2.9% financing right now on select Chevy and GMC new models. So stop on in and make that short drive to Louisville or check us out online at copplecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? Huh?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. It's a good day, not only because we got to talk to Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska, but also spring training baseball is on the Roku in the studio. We got Cardinals and Mets going on right now.
You can see it behind me, but don't actually look.
Yeah, don't watch. We can't watch through the camera. We are not.
I don't want to get in trouble.
We are not encouraging that. It's time for the crossover, though.
Espin.
It's time for the crossover. We bring in Austin, and then Strick joins us over the stream. Strick, how's it going, man?
Doing good, man. It was a great weekend. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of top NCAA basketball teams went down over the rivalry weekend. Well, so to speak. Not all of them was rivalry, but it was some great basketball, some craziness happening over that time. And then we saw, obviously, the Westbrook experiment with the Clippers seeming to take place. And then the the Lakers still fighting. The Lakers' big 27-point comeback down here in Dallas was tremendous for them. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Just a lot of, you just don't know what's going to happen in the next month or so. It's going to be crazy.
I was about to ask where in the world is Eric Strickland, but you kind of answered that for us.
Yeah, in Dallas. My niece's birthday. It was a great little weekend. My sister did something unique. Had a hibachi outside. The weather cooperated, so it was good. Yeah, it was still cooperating.
Well,
That sounds delicious.
Couldn't have done that here.
Yeah.
No.
Did you see Damian Lillard explode for 71?
I didn't see it, but Dame time went nuts. That's crazy. I still think it's crazy that the potential of doing that in the way that it is. It just seems like you're seeing a lot more of them high scoring type of games in the NBA today. So it's kind of crazy to see.
The Rockets have been hit up 6 times this season for over 40 points.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. I just don't even understand what they're trying to do down there. They haven't been the same since they let James Harden's guy Daryl Morey. Since they let him go, they haven't been the same.
Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Happy Hour.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, so we just got done talking to Steve about Keisei Tominaga and how valuable he is to this team and how much he's provided for fan engagement and fan interest in this thing as we kind of get towards the end of the season. Now, you'll remember that today, I believe it was today, 1890 announced that they're going to start working with Husker men's basketball. Keisei's parents are in town. I believe Oleg Koyanets's parents are in town as well. You had the parents of Izzy Bourne from Husker women's basketball team in town. Grandparents came to watch Jazz Shelley over the weekend as well. Now, here's what's interesting, because there's been this long-standing belief and understanding that international athletes can't make money off of NIL. Now, here's where the whole Keisei conversation kind of gets a little more interesting. And Robin Washut of On3 and Husker Online put out this article, and I just want to read a snippet of it, but I highly recommend that you read the rest of the article because there's a lot of good information in here. So it says, Tominaga is in the U.S. on an F1 student visa. Federal law states that he can only earn passive income while in the country. The law describes passive income as money earned when an individual isn't actively participating in a business or trade. So layman's terms, here we go. In other words, Tominaga can't receive compensation for coaching at youth camps, commercials, putting out social media endorsements, etc. Now here's the kicker. However, he can earn money through some forms of group licensing income, such as replica jerseys and t-shirts. So I'll stop there, and Robin does a great job of explaining it further on. But now, guys, think about how hot Keisei Tominaga jerseys would fly off the market.
Gone.
In a blink of an eye.
Gone.
I mean, he's a superstar in Japan already.
Yeah.
His stock is continuing to rise within the United States, not just Nebraska. The other Big Ten writers have started picking up on how hot he's been as of late. Keisei Tominaga jerseys would fly off the shelves here and, of course, over in Japan. I don't know how much they would sell for, but I could see a decent chunk of change being made from that.
It's crazy to think. I mean, and when we look at, and although no conversations regarding Keisei's future have been made or had been even discussed between Fred Hoiberg and Keisei Tominaga, that conversation's starting to arise a little bit because he's going to be honored tomorrow night at senior night alongside Derek Walker, Emmanuel Bandamel, and Sam Griesel. But and that's not a surprise necessarily, but here we are and going. If Keisei Tominaga decides to return next season, that's a huge boost for Nebraska men's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Should be an NIT team if Keisei
I
comes
agree.
back next year.
I
Plain
agree.
and simple. Even if he does get the shirts or the jerseys sold, that's not going to match up to a pro contract.
No.
It depends on if Keisei thinks he can carve out a role in the G League, or can he make some money in Europe with another good year. Because he could go to China and probably light it up. Maybe Europe right now, but if he wants to dream bigger, he comes back another year. If he really loves Lincoln that much, he comes back another year. but it might be hard to pass up that much money because his value hasn't been higher. It would be a gamble coming back for another year.
Well, if
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Strick.
No, I was going to agree with Austin. I think it depends on what his aspirations and goals are. And, as we've spoken about before, I think the NIL situation hurts him tremendously. I think he could have done very, very well if he could have landed that. It would have, made more sense for him to definitely return. I think it just depends. Obviously, his role would have to change, meaning that he would definitely have to play some point guard. He would have to show that he can run a team because at the next level, his size, he would become a specialty type of guy. He wouldn't become a full-time type of guy. And so, G League has some great two-way opportunities. I don't know if draft-wise he would land that. Somebody would take a chance on him, but I bet you it would be West Coast dominated. It'd be somebody like Golden State, or it'd be somebody like that, obviously for marketing reasons, drafting him with Golden State, making him a two-way player would be something probably of interest for them. Somewhere out in the California, in the Western market, where it has a very heavy dominant Asian community. So those would be areas for him that if he wanted to come back and do it. Now he can come back and say, I want to break open the doors for this team and make them an NCAA tournament team. If he can do that, then his stock goes through the roof in another way. So it's one of those type of dynamics.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating as we go forward. We got about a minute left in the show. Gentlemen, what's coming up on the show, Austin?
Oh, we got all sorts of stuff. Well, a big Husker weekend we're going to talk about first. Talk to Clester Johnson and Brian Munson as well. I love hearing from those guys on Mondays. And the first NIL infractions handed down to Miami women's basketball. We're going to get into that. What was the punishment? Was it fair?
Yeah. And what's fascinating about that story, and I'm sure you guys will get into it, the stats aren't jumping off the charts.
No.
They're not having some All-American type of season that you would expect when you see that kind of paycheck.
Who is it worth it for?
Yeah,
Strick,
that's the question.
Strick, Fran McCaffrey stared out of a ref.
Oh, I mean, that's nothing different. I mean, a lot of coaches do that, but at least the refs ain't bucking up on him for doing it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, stick around. On the Block with Strick and Austin coming up next. Tomorrow's a big day for Husker Hoops. We'll talk about it tomorrow. See ya.
Adios.